center in the heart of New York City. It's the Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. Now, here he is, Jimmy Fallon!
Welcome to the Tonight Show. You're here. You made it. First guest tonight is one of the biggest philosophers on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Howard Gardner. Welcome to the show. Howard will be telling us about all the childhood education philosophers, including himself. So Howard, steal the show.
Thank you, Jimmy, for having me here today. It's an honor. First up, we have Erik Erikson. He was born on June 15th in Frankfurt, Germany, 1902, and died on May 12th, 1994, in Rosewood Manor, Maryland. For school, he went to Lycée Bismarck, Academy of Fine Arts of Munich. His theory was that humans' personalities continued to develop past the age of 5. Erik's theory is important to early childhood education because it's needed to know how you should talk and teach the kids, depending on their age. Next, we have Jean. Jean Piaget was a great guy. He was born on August 9, 1896, in Neuchâtel, Switzerland. He passed on September 16, 1980, in Geneva, Switzerland. He attended School University of Neuchâtel and also the University of Zurich. Jean's theory states that cognitive and intellectual development happens through a process of adaptation. His theory is important because it shows that kids learn by adapting to new things. Lev Vygotsky was born on November 17, 1896, in Orsha, Belarus. He published 6 books on psychology in 10 years. His theory explains that a child's cognitive development and learning ability can be guided and mediated by their social interactions. His theory is important to child education because it tells us how some children learn differently than others, and it shows us a way of how they learn. Unfortunately, he passed away June 11, 1934, in Moscow, Russia, due to my relapse of tuberculosis at the age of 37. John Dewey was born on October 20, 1859, in Burlington, Vermont. When John was 15, he received his diploma and enrolled at the University of Vermont. He was president of the American Psychological Association. John's theory stated that all learning occurs within a social environment. His theory is important for child education because it shows us how it is critical for children to be social and physically do things because that is how they learn. John passed on June 1, 1952, in New York from pneumonia. Next is me, Howard Gardner. I was born on July 11, 1943, in Scranton, Pennsylvania. I went to Harvard University because, as you may know, I'm very intelligent. If you don't believe me already, I have been selected twice by Foreign Policy and Prospect magazines as one of 100 most influential public intellectuals in the world. My theory explains that children have multiple intelligences. I believe my theory is important for child education because it's important to know children have 8 different intelligences and 8 different things to learn. Next, we have B.F. Skinner. Skinner was born on March 20, 1904, in Susquehanna, Pennsylvania. He perished on August 18, 1990, in Cambridge, Massachusetts, due to leukemia. Skinner's theory suggests that a person is first exposed to a stimulus, which elicits a response, and the response is then reinforced. This is important for child education because it shows us how children react and are programmed to react and respond to things. Yuri Bronfenbrenner was born on April 29, 1917, in Moscow, Russia. He died on September 25, 2005, in Ithaca, New York. Yuri's theory stated that human development unfolds in a nested set of systems, involving cultural, social, economic, and political elements, not merely psychological ones. It's important in childhood education because it creates supportive environments that foster positive relationships and a sense of belonging. Okay, now there's Arnold Gazelle. He was born on June 21, 1880, in Alma, Wisconsin, and died on May 29, 1961, in New Haven, Connecticut. Arnold's theory explained how young children's development occurs in stages that are not strictly correlated to age. His theory affects childhood education because it creates a lasting framework that continues to influence early years practice. Now, the only girl philosopher I'll talk about is Maria Montessori. She was born on August 31, 1870, in Chiaraval, Italy, and passed on May 6, 1952, in Noordwijk, Netherlands. Her theory is based on the belief that children learn best when they are free to explore and interact with their environment. Maria's theory affects childhood education because it encourages hands-on learning experiences, collaborative play, and the development of self-discipline and self-regulation. Lawrence Kohlberg was born on October 25, 1927, in Bronxville, New York. He died in January 1987 in Winthrop, Massachusetts. His theory explains that moral development occurs in a series of 6 stages, and that moral logic is primarily focused on seeking and maintaining justice. His theory affects childhood education because it focuses on how children develop morality and moral reasoning. Abraham Maslow was born on April 1st, 1908, in Brooklyn, New York, and died on June 8, 1970, at Menlo Park, California. His theory states that motivation is the result of a person's attempt at fulfilling 5 basic needs: physiological, safety, social, esteem, and self-actualization. His theory affects childhood education because it challenges teachers to consider not just cognitive development, but also children's emotional, social, and physical well-being. Albert Bandura was born on December 4, 1925, in Mundare, Canada. He died on July 26, 2021, in Stanford, California. Albert's theory states that observation and modeling play a primary role in how and why people learn. His theory affects childhood education because children learn by observing and imitating others. Lastly, we have Sigmund Freud. He was born on May 6, 1856, in Przybor, Czechia. He died on September 23, 1939, in Hampstead, London. His theory states that human behavior is influenced by unconscious memories, thoughts, and urges. His theory affects childhood education because it highlights the importance of early experiences in shaping personality.
Very New York. Howard Gardner. Everyone, we'll be right back with more Tonight Show. Stick around, everybody.